right, well, welcome to the Elite Team Athletics Podcast. I got my guys Q and Tevin in here, myself, Kyle Coglatori, and a special guest, Trevor Mbakwe. What's up, man?
What's going on?
How you been? Oh, of course. Yeah. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you coming through. What's going on here with these hoops? You said you're ready to lace them up again.
Yeah, I'm ready. You guys convinced me. That's all I needed. Go home watch some YouTube videos the rest of the day.
5 minutes ago, you were saying you didn't even miss it.
right. See how quick that changes?
Yeah, you're ready to go. Ah, dude. So, you know what? A real question starting it off. You know, I was talking with Tuck because I was telling him when he came, Tuck was in here last week, but I was telling him, God, it's going to be tough because Trevor's going to be coming in here. I don't know what he's going to do with these ceilings. I go, he's 6'8". He goes, boy, he's not 6'8". He goes, you're going to be disappointed.
Hey, man, with shoes on, I'm 6'8".
The right ruler. That's what we tell exactly. Q. Q says he's 6'2".
Q ain't no 6 foot.
You can add a couple inches on them rosters, man.
Yeah, with them Prince shoes, baby.
Dude, that's like when I was in high school, I had an afro, and my basketball coach on our rosters said I was like 6'8" or something like that. 6'4". He would include my afro in the height on the.
You felt so good that day. You were like,
whatever.
So I used to hate when they hyped up the height. So it was like 6'10". I'm like, come on, man. You know, I walk in, it's like they're looking at me like I thought you were 6'10".
You play big though.
Yeah.
You play big, man. You are one of the biggest grinders I've ever seen, bro. You're full of energy. You play good defense, unreal defense. You're just a hustler, dude. And watching you play that way. What got you that way? Most people don't have it, especially today. You know, people don't have that work hard.
Just some coaches, AAU coaches back in the day. You know, that's when I was coming up being undersized. You know, Jason Maxill, like watching like a lot of those undersized foremen in the league at the time. Brandon Bass, just the list goes on, and that was kind of like their niche. That was their way they played, and I don't know, for whatever reason, that's just always how that's just started me at a young age and it followed me through the rest of my career.
The hard work paid off.
Yeah, it did.
For sure. So then, what was it like with the AAU? Who were you with? You were playing with Pulley, right?
Yeah, I played Pulley.
Yep. So who was your coach then?
Coach Love.
Coach Love.
Yeah, Coach Harris, yeah.
And that was with Matt Janney was on your team?
I played with all of them, bro. Bryce Webster, Isaiah Dahlman, Corey Johnson, Matt Janney. This list goes on. All the top guys.
This is crazy. So, I'd like to find out what you thought about your AAU experience going through all that.
AU was fun. I wish we had the EYBL. You know, that came like a couple years after he left, which is pretty cool. But it was fun, going around playing against the top guys in the country. You know, every weekend was a big tournament. You know, you're playing against the Blake Griffin, all the top Nike guys. And, it's fun just saying you're sponsored by Nike. But it was some of the best times of my life, traveling, on the road, just being kids, just playing basketball, playing 10 games in one day.
Right. That was real. Right? That was so fun.
Yeah. So, it was, those days we had a game like at 11 at night and had to wake up at 8 the next morning and play. So, but it was fun, I'm sure like you guys had the same experiences as going around.
Do you remember, I mean, a lot of people, that's where they kind of make their name for themselves. For you, do you feel like that's what kind of let people know who you were? What tournaments kind of got you to that point?
Well, geez, that's a good question. I think it started my freshman year at Nationals. We went to Nationals, had a really good showing. Our team almost went to the Final Four. That's when the rankings started coming out. So you go, okay, then I was started being ranked. And then the next year, then started having, because I always played up. So then I think just, once you play up and you can show that you can compete at that same level, like you have a whole different confidence. And I think it was a tournament sophomore year. We played against, what's his name from Texas? He was a big guy. He was one and done, went to Texas, and I had to, competed, outplayed him, and it's like, what? I can do this.
Buckets,
I wish I could remember his name, but that's going to bother me the rest of the day, but it was fun.
It's funny, last week when Tuck was talking, he said he knew
too much Tuck is talking. Who listens to Tuck talk?
But he was telling us how he gave Clay Thompson buckets.
Is there proof?
I'd like to see the film of that. What did he say? Gave him like 35.
I believe it. They probably. How many did Clay give him?
So when you were playing though, and you played against like the Blake Griffins, what do you remember about that kind of stuff? Like,
well, Blake Griffin busted my ass. Like,
did he?
Yeah.
No.
That was before he got big. It was like it was him, Xavier Henry. They had some other guy. It was like an 8:00 game. It was like OKC's finest or something like that. We wake up. That was before. I was like, who's this guy? And he came in and dunked like the first 3 possessions down. I'm looking at the coach like, man.
He's good. He's the real deal.
And then later on, he started, he ended up being the number 1 player. But, Yeah, it was fun day. You know, this 07 class too. I think it was one of the best classes outside. You know, Derrick Rose, Michael Beasley, OJ Mayo. Like it was, and they all on the Nike circuit too. So it was some battles.
Could Blake shoot then, or was he just a pure dunker?
He was just 6'9", 260.
It's hard to stop.
Yeah, look what he was doing his rookie year in the league, and it's like that's what he was doing in high school. So it was different levels to it. Yeah.
Oh my God! But you could fly too. I mean, you got a lot of bounce, as we just saw in the highlight. What was it like? You know, really, really like. What's the way I want to say it? When you were blocking guys like that, when was that moment when you were really
right? Well, because you like,
you know what I'm saying?
You realize that you're more athletic than other people. So you could do
you know what I mean. You really stuck up for you.
Like, oh, you got a layup? Nope, no, you don't. Like when you realize that, oh, I'm different, and I can make other people think they're going to get a bucket and just take that away at any time.
Well, middle school, probably,
middle school,
because I was always kind of one of the taller kids, and once I started putting it together, and then you're playing against most time maybe shorter guys or maybe guys not as athletic as you, and
in the coming up.
Yeah.
So do you think when you got to the AAU, obviously that was your big turning point. Was high school ball as important to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, high school, especially. For me, it was kind of like just, compete against my other friends, other teammates, and we had some big rivals and kids or guys who I was playing against in our conference, and it was always fun. I played varsity my freshman year, so I kind of got a taste of it early, and it was kind of like me and Cole Aldrich was always kind of like 1-1, so I was kind of like, let's make sure that he was like my big, like him and Noah Dahlman was like my big like competition at the time, so I always wanted to like in my
bust their ass.
Yeah, or just, have a better season or do whatever I can, so kind of,
Was it always a good competitive, like good friendship through it, but then still competitive, let them know, like, hey, man, no, I'm going to get you here?
Yeah, for sure. It was always fun, playing against those guys. Like, we're all cool off the court. But in the day, I think we all, want to...
Needed that push. Hell yeah.
And I think that kind of helped us all along the way. Okay.
So with Henry, what was the experience, that transition from AAU? You're playing up. Now you're coming back to Henry. Is it just easy? Was it just the drop-off that much different, or was it...
Because we always had talent in Minnesota. It's just the way social media is now is just like a whole nother level.
I couldn't even imagine what it'd be like back then.
Yeah, so like everybody, Minnesota's fun. Like, no, we've always had talent. The Royces, Rodneys, myself, Cole, and Blake, and like a lot of guys who play at a high level. It's just now social media the way it is. Everybody's
knows about
exposure, and it's a lot more. But it was there's like I said, the competition is always good, especially as a freshman, sophomore playing varsity. You're always going to be going against bigger guys, and some guys maybe more talented than you at the time or whatnot. And the Classic Bourbon at the time was a pretty good conference. We Tartan, St. Thomas. We always played against Cretans, a lot of the other St. Paul schools. So the competition was always pretty good.
Were you? Are you kind of sad that you didn't have that social media? That exposure back then, do you feel like that would have been good, or do you think it would have been bad?
It would have been bad.
Yeah.
Probably would have been.
Got you into more trouble.
Back in the day, so don't tell me posting what I did. Like, it's probably a good thing that came later on for me.
So with Henry Sibley, I mean, if you would have stayed there, you would have been all-time leading scorer for sure. What made you leave?
I wanted Peter Leslie to get that.
Yeah.
Such a good
Shout out Pete.
Shout out Pete. I didn't want Peter to get it. It just was some things behind the scenes that were going on between like some of my family and some of the administration, and we thought since I committed to Marquette, it was like, okay, let's experience the Catholic to kind of transition and go into college. And I think at the end of the day, like I didn't want to leave personally because I grew up with my friends. We've been playing together since middle school, and but in the day you're a kid and you gotta kind of follow what what your parents tell you to do.
Well, you showed out at St. Bernard's too. I mean, you went up.
Yeah.
It was. Would you say the team was as good or?
We're good. I mean, but I do. Like one of my best friends was on the team, so it kind of was one of the reasons I went over there. And the team was pretty, but Sibley had a really good team too. I think we could have went to state in 4A at the time, and that would have been the first time.
Yeah, because you had Halverson and you had
Pete.
Yeah.
I can't remember the teams right now.
Yeah, you guys had some tall really boys too.
Yeah.
That was a scary team. I mean, and Pete could shoot.
Yeah, Pete was a good scorer, great scorer, and loved playing with him.
Yeah,
he'd throw the ball to me anywhere. I love those type of guards here. just throw it up.
That's the easiest players to play with. You ain't got to make a good pass. You just out here collecting assists.
Put it somewhere,
right?
so I can get it.
Right.
So what was the recruiting process? Because you committed to Marquette early.
Yeah.
What made you pick Marquette over all the other schools?
Coach Crean at the time, he offered me a scholarship my freshman year.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, that's when Dwayne Wade were coming up. They had the Final Four pushes, and, we just kind of built their relationship early. Then I had a pretty good recruiting process. You know, I got offered by a lot of the big schools, Arizona, Florida, Georgetown at the time. So it was tough at the time, but I think just the connection, I kind of wanted to be away from home, but I didn't want to be too far from home. And I saw, like, what he was doing at that program. You know, you go to a Marquette game, it's the 18th. There are more fans at Marquette games than the Bucks fans or games a lot of times. And they'll play in the NBA arena. And for a coach, you know, who was regarded as one of the top coaches at the time, it would have been nice to stay home, but there was a lot of, like, craziness going on at the Minnesota at the time. You know, where they were kind of figuring out, is Dan Munson going to stay? He's going to get fired, you know, at that time. And at the time, I just felt pretty comfortable. Just like, you know what, this is what I want to do. Like, they were at all the games. You know, the tension was there, and like I said, it was far enough from home that I could still get back if I wanted to on the weekends and be close to my family and friends.
Did you go back a lot?
Well, I mean, as much as we can. You know, you have, like, the 2 days here. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
Not a lot of time.
yeah, it's not a lot of time. You know, but
And I feel like back then they didn't hook you up with traveling and stuff back then either. Like, it was more out of pocket, wasn't it?
yeah, but I had one of my teammates, Dan Fitzgerald, at the time. He was there, so, like, a lot of time he'll come back. I'll just hitch a ride with him.
That's
me
dope.
and Angel Robinson, because she was over there at the time too. So we just kind of like just sneaking it back and just hop up and just tell us when he's gonna pick us up to go back.
That makes it real easy. So let's talk about the freshman year. Was that kind of a hard transition coming in there? You know, not getting, you know, going from being the standout, the man, to then kind of, you know, it kind of was a red shirt because you got hurt and stuff.
Yeah, so my freshman year was tough. Well, it started off slow because it took me a while to get cleared by the clearinghouse. So then I got cleared like right before Midnight Madness, or like the first official week of practice. Had a really good week going into it. I would have been starting my freshman year. Had a good few scrimmages. We actually scrimmaged like Kansas State. I had like 17-10 against Michael Beasley, know that goals guy. So like I was coming into it feeling good. And then a week later, we were in practice. One of my teammates at the time, Dominic James, you know, who was like our star player. Yeah,
I remember being a Wisconsin kid, I definitely remember Dom.
Yeah.
He was a bucket.
Yeah. You know, he falls down, so being a freshman, kind of like, okay, let me run and go pick him up. And I slipped in this puddle of sweat. And I tore my LCL at the time. Damn. So that was tough. And so I had to get surgery, and I was okay, me 4 months out. And then, you know, me, so this will bother me too. So I missed that part. So obviously as a, you know, freshman, like you have these big goals coming into the season. You know, people are talking highly of you. You know, you're feeling really good with the team. We were a top 15 team at the time, and then you get hurt. So the whole time I'm trying to, in my mind's okay, he says 4 months, but I could probably get back in 2.5, 3 months. Yeah. So, you know, I did whatever I could, and then ended up having a conversation with Coach Crean. This is around like January, February. Which is stupid, which bothers me still. Yeah. Kind of because I feel like I took advantage of. It's like we have these conversations, and it's like, hey, do you want to come back and play? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to come back and play. I want to be part of the team, like not knowing, like, I mean, you come in as a freshman, and now you're coming into the middle of the Big East schedule, which at the time was the best conference. You know, we had 10 teams, you know, Syracuse, UConn, like, you know, Louisville, like, that's when the Big East was rocking. Yeah. So then we ended up having this conversation. The doctors cleared me, and so basically, like everybody who's on, you know, thought it was a bad idea,
and they should have held you back.
Yeah, because I lost a redshirt year to play 10 games to 12 games, whatever it was, and so then, you know, I trusted Coach Crean at the time. You know, he's still a good coach, and so I trusted him.
He didn't do what was right for you, though, personally, individually.
Especially for, you know, you take this 15-year-old who you build this relationship for 3-4 years.
Yeah, you trust him.
You tell him, hey, you know, I got you, this is that. And then you allow. At that time, you know, no, we're not going to do this. Mm-hmm. So then the season ends. We lose to, who we lose to? We lost like Villanova or somebody to go to the Sweet 16 at the time. And then the season ends, a week or two goes by, you know, we're having all our end of the season conversations, you know, this is the goal for next season, this is what we want from you. Yeah. Then 3 days later, you know, it's April 1st, April Fool's Day. Still remember this day. Me and some of my teammates still talk about it. It's our off day. We're all just chilling in the apartments. Partner interruption comes on.
Oh, shit.
Flashes, Tom Creed leaves for Indiana. We're like, nah, this is a joke. April Fool's. Like, we're like, nah. It's not true. Then we get a whole bunch of calls from everybody. And I was just saying, Yeah, so I found out he was leaving after the scene with him a few days. No.
There was no team meeting, no nothing?
No. Then afterwards, he tried to have a meeting with us, and he was, I mean.
Too late.
Yeah,
it's like, no,
you should
like,
go
I
somewhere else, right?
I don't want to see no tears. I don't want to see, I'm mad already. I was like, I came here for you. Like, Marquette's a great school, whatever it is, but they,
Like you sold me.
Yeah, and that's what NCAA I pay up with them was like, oh, you choose a school. I mean, the school is, it's fine, but.
Right at the end of the day, you're going for the coach, you're going for the team environment.
Relationships.
And when you said you had, it was tough to get into the NCAA clearinghouse, was there anything in particular that...
No, just it was like a class that they had to register, and it just took them forever. It was like a class that I took that I had to take a summer school class in order to complete something. I took it at one of those private schools, some private school, some small school, and then so I took it and they just wanted to make sure it was like a legit class at the time and stuff like that. Yeah, but that's all it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when you're going through that, in your mind, are you like, damn, I want to go to Indiana, or just
no? And then
you were just hating him.
Later, like, do you want to come in? No, I started to stuck in Bloomington, Indiana. I was like, you have some nerve.
So what was going through your mind there? Like, obviously, you feel deceived, like deceitful, like this dude just dogged you out.
Yeah, but that's when the first time I was like, okay, this is a business. And he didn't have to take the Indiana job because Marquette would have paid him whatever he wanted. He always, it's a private school, it's a basketball school. Like, he could have got whatever Indiana gave him and more by staying. But I was like, you know what, this is a business. I get it. I would say I was pretty mad at him for a long period of time. Or not maybe mad,
just hurt. It's like, come on, man. I came here. I trusted you with my life.
Father figure to me, like, you told me all this other stuff. But the conversation happened. I was like, hell no, I'm not going to Indiana.
So, what was that conversation like when he did have that team meeting with you guys?
Man, we were all checked out. Like, it was like, especially like with Dom, Jerome McNeil, those guys who kind of built up. It likes a lot of us. It was a close team. And you go through this experience, and you recruit all of them from a young age, and you tell them all the time. Like, I remember one of his speeches he gave me was like, because I asked him, because he was one of the hottest coaches at the time. I was like, "Are you going to be here?" And he pulls out his wallet, shows all the credit cards and all this. Like, I have no reason to leave, man. I have a private jet, this and that. I'm like, okay, I got
Sounds
it.
good.
Right.
Selling candy.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I think it was probably a hard decision, but at the end of the day, he won. That was a goal of his, to coach at one of those top, power blue collar schools at the time, man.
And at least it's like he left for Indiana, which is like a historically great university. It's not like he went to some like middle of nowhere terrible school. He's like a Florida Gulf Coast or something.
University of Wisconsin. Oh, oops, sorry. That's for Jordan.
Shout out Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. That probably would hurt a little. Maybe that would have been easier. It's like when your ex leaves you for somebody less than you. Maybe.
Right, yeah. You want to at least look back and say, like, you know what? I'm better than him. Yeah. I look better than him. You downgraded. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Yeah.
So then you're sitting there thinking immediately, well, where am I going to go? You don't want to stay?
Yeah, so Buzz Williams was the coach, great coach. By the time he was an assistant, and he came my first year, or my freshman year, and I didn't know him. I didn't have a relationship with him. And, every coach on the coaching staff has a different role. Like, you have the coach that's kind of cool. You have the coach who's like a hard ass, or whatever it is. And he was a hard ass. He's Buzz Williams. That's why he's had his success. And at that time, I was like, yo, like,
nah, I'm not feeling this.
This year's assistant coach. I do not want to see as a head coach. You hear all the stories, even I'm sure he's got better now. Just like the first couple weeks of practice, there's no ball. It's like that military, like someone was like, yeah. Do I want to be doing Army stuff? Be stuck in here again, but so I gave it a shot, and that's part of the reason I ended up going to JUCO, because I went through the summer, went through all this stuff. And then at the end of the summer, when you go back to school, and I was just like, I don't want to go back. Yeah. At the time, a lot of schools the scholarships already filled up, and I basically waited too long to do it. And then there was some other schools, but I don't want to just jump into a situation. Yeah. So I knew a couple of friends who were at this Miami-Dade school in Miami. I was like, okay, go to Miami, check it out. Yeah. I knew the following year I was going to go back to Minnesota, because Minnesota coach, they had a scholarship opening up, but just not at the time. So I was like, well, I'll go back home. I had a son at the time. Coach Smith came here his first year.
Well, you still have a son now, still.
Oh, yeah, still have a son.
Still have a son now.
He just went to school.
So you go to Miami.
So I go to Miami. Norm said, let me just go to Miami for you. Let me just play.
Yeah.
Sit out another year.
But you killed it.
Yeah.
You destroyed.
Yeah.
Actually.
But then I just wanted to play.
Yeah.
Because I already sat out a year, and I didn't want to sit out another year by transit, and I didn't want to just rush to any other school and just be, in the situation I want to be in. So, yeah, I went to JUCO. It was obviously a different change of pace.
Yeah,
from flying private to taking buses, eating at Golden Corral.
Instead of steakhouses.
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
Humbling.
Yeah, very humbling, yes, for sure. Makes you appreciate other things a lot more. But, went to JUCO. It was a fun time. Had a great team. We were nationally ranked a lot. I think I was I was player of the year in the state of Florida. First or second team all JUCO or something.
I know. I got your highlight, all your stuff right here. 16.3 3-point or 13.2 boards and 2.7 blocks. Like you were doing whatever you wanted. So I mean, you're going through all that. What was that experience like? Because you ended up having a little bit of a hiccup in that situation before then, which kind of messed up going back to the U for a second because people want to know how it was going to play out.
Right. So there was an incident down there involving a young lady. So the incident was she was assaulted on the campus that we're living on, and it got back. So also she picked me out of our team roster page. She was like, "It's a tall black guy."
And screwed you up.
So the whole team.
Oh, the whole team. No, but that's why the case is frustrating because it was like. She picked out two different people, even like when it was like literally like two different people. And it was like the other guy looked nothing like, it was so like I had proof that I was on the phone with my girlfriend, my wife, my current wife. At the same time, there's text messages, there's stuff going through and like, but it's just like it was a long process because they want to make sure because there was a victim and they want to go through the due process and all the other stuff. But obviously, it messed me up.
Well, yeah, it tarnishes your name.
Yeah, and then I'm coming here, a lot.
Like, and you knew you were coming here.
Yeah, I knew I was coming here. So like that was obviously started off on a rough note. And it just kept getting delayed and get delayed. And then, like, obviously the University of Minnesota, they were involved. The lawyers all were involved. So everybody knew the situation, the case, knew what was going on. It just kept getting delayed. And because Florida's system was terrible at that. I don't know if it's how it is now. But it was frustrating for me, because I come in, I want to play, I'm back home, and I can't. And then you have people looking at me. It's like, oh, did he just do this? And like I was like, so it was a frustrating process. For sure.
It's hard for media, saying what they want to say or depicting it how they want to depict it for a story, and you can't. I mean, you couldn't speak on it,
right? Yeah. And
you can't defend yourself.
Right.
And on top of that, being a young kid with all that coming at you, like that's insane. And
it was tough because I came in with Royce.
Yeah.
So it was Royce. There was
Royce was having issues too.
So every time something happened, my name got through back. Yeah. So it was like, okay, Royce, love Royce, like something like he's.
We just need to chill.
Yeah, I was like, come on, Royce, please, like you keep. I'm not even. So like it's the security guard, and it's like anything that can happen with anybody. Oh, and Trevor Mbakwe with this, I was like, come on, like I'm just trying to like lay low, just do my thing, just trying to get cleared, but. They did what they had to do. I understand at the time. But
at the same time, do you feel like they did enough for the player? I mean, I especially at the time, I feel like the U of M was so unorganized. So they were not knowing what they were supposed to be doing. I feel like in a lot of situations, they did not handle properly.
Yeah, it bothered me initially because
they let you in the school. You expect to play. Yeah, that's what you want to do.
They're doing all these things. They're telling me they're supporting me. They're we're gonna do this together, and then.
But you felt alone with it all.
Yeah, I did because I'm not. Yeah, like you're saying these things, but basically you're still.
In a part, you want to be like, yo, you're the adults. Like I'm the kid. You're supposed to be helping me, molding me into this. Right. This person I'm supposed to become. You're supposed to be helping me get to where I want to be.
Right. And I've seen other schools. There's an incident. Some kid at UCLA. I can't remember his name. It's a similar thing. He's still playing. They let him play. They let that process happen. I was like,
because they didn't want to deal with the ramifications if they did let you play, which again screwed you out another year of school.
Yeah. Exactly. So another season now I'm okay. I've come back home after finally playing, having a great year, showing that I'm back healthy, and come back home, and then I'm still another year. So I got a clearance because I was going to transfer. I was mad about the situation was going on. He kept telling me 1 month, so now it's December, and then so I got clearance. I was really close to transferring. I was on
Where are you going to go?
University of Memphis.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
So wait, so you would have been on the team with like Derrick Rose and
No, it would have been like Will Barton.
Okay.
Will Barton's cold.
Yeah, so they had a top recruiting class coming, like Chris Crawford, some guys, Wesley Witherspoon. But
You guys would have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, and it would have that conference USA, you know.
Right, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
You go from the Big Ten to Conference USA. Just hand me the conference championship right now.
Ran through.
But
So you almost transferred. What made you not?
I just had a final sit down with Coach Coach Smith, and he just kind of like just reassured me. He was like, you know, I'm not gonna.
No matter what, we're playing you next year, regardless of what's going on.
Because he was frustrated too. You know, you lose. You know, because they are the situation with the Royce. You know, so you have this top 15 class coming in, and two of the top players or your top guys can't play.
Yeah.
And you know they were kind of doing the same thing with Royce. Obviously, his situation was a little bit different, but you know he's a McDonald All-American come in, so you handle that. So he's frustrated already because you know.
And then fans are already hating because they're sitting there thinking we're finally going to be good for the first time in a minute.
They're already mad. Like, one, they don't keep historically don't keep.
And that was the 1 year they did. The 1 year
can play.
Bro, yeah, Trevor, Royce, and Rodney. We were like, it's over. It's over. So going into that, I mean, when you finally got to play, you killed it. You led the Big Ten in rebounds. You did whatever you wanted. You were a big man on campus.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great year. It started off really great. Ended poorly, but that was, you know, just some Minnesota luck, you know.
Yeah.
Al breaks his foot. DeVoe decides to transfer.
Yeah.
The season.
What was it like as a teammate seeing all that kind of just unfold?
It was tough because, you know, we came into the season, we came out hot, you know. We won the Puerto Rico tip-off, beat West Virginia. It was top 15, top 10 at the time. Beat North Carolina. It was top 5 at the time with Harrison Barnes. It was Zellers. You know, I was the MVP of the tournament. Then we came up. We had a big win at Florida State, the ACC Big Ten Challenge, and they were top. So we went in from like underdogs to top 15 within
people knowing.
Yeah. Now you know it's feeling good, especially for me. Like finally get a chance to play, playing like I want to play, and you know. It was too good to be true.
What was Tubby Smith telling you like during that time when you guys do go from kind of nobody's expecting anything of you to ranked? Because he came from Kentucky, right? Where it was, I mean, they're perennial powerhouse. And then, so did he have what was like kind of his motivation or wisdom he gave to you guys?
I think for him, I think something he always preached to us was never get too high, never get too low. You know, especially when you might have 40 one day. I'm sure like you probably have a few times, but the next day you might have 5. You know, just like you're not as good as you think you are, you're not as bad as you think you are. Yeah. That type of mentality. And for us, we're always just kind of hungry because we already, you know, just being local guys like, you know, Al, Blake, me, those guys. Okay, we're finally doing what we want to do, Rodney. But you know, then we just hit a tough stretch. You know, we start off at Michigan State on the road, then we went to Wisconsin, then Al gets hurt, our starting point guard at the time. He breaks his foot. Then our starting shooting guard at the time, DeVoe Joseph, he decides he had his other stuff going on. He decides to transfer to the University of Oregon at the time.
So were you guys caught off guard by that one, or did you guys all kind of know?
You know, when you're laying around, you're talking smack to your teammates, you're like mad, you're like, man, I'm gonna leave. You're like, yeah, whatever. We all say that. So they were on the back of the bus. He's like, no, I'm leaving. We're like, oh, here we go. We just lost at Michigan State. He didn't play as much, and he didn't like where the season was headed for him, man. We're like, whatever. The next morning, practice comes around. We're like, where's DeVoe?
He's gone. He really jazzed.
He was serious. DeVoe, we're just joking this whole time.
Y'all start texting around the spot?
Yeah, but so that really hurt, you know. Cause we already lost Justin Cobbs before that, which would have, because he left after his freshman year. So if we would have had him, you know, you lose 3 starting guards, and you know, 2 of them go to Pac-10 and are all Pac-10 players. You know, like they're good players, and so then it's kind of messed up the whole dynamic of our team, and we hit.
Justin Cobb was that Chris Brown looking dude. Yeah, he was nice.
Yeah, he was really good. And then we said it messed up the whole dynamic of the team because then we had to move Blake Hoffaber. You know, was a great shooter. Now he's playing point guard position. He's never played point his whole life. But we still had a chance to make the tournament. We lost it ourselves down the stretch. I think we lost like 6 of 8 games by like less than 4 or 5 points, and it all came down to the end. And it was just like,
well, I mean, that's a lot to overcome in general. You know what I mean? Like, especially like you said, you're losing your ball handler, your facilitator, and Al knows, dude, he's a ball player.
Yeah.
He's a hooper.
Yeah.
So Al, shout out Al. If you ever want to come on the show, we'd love to talk to you. But yeah, he was dope.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and like you said, Blake's another Minnesota great, like you said, and he's a shooter.
Yeah, one of the best shooters I ever played with.
Hell yeah. You were just talking about he's the Gatorade on the back.
On the back
back,
shot.
yeah.
But then hit that shot right before it to even tie it up.
Yeah.
He's just crazy. So then things didn't end the right way then, or that year. The following year, that's the year you hurt your knee, right?
Sure, yeah.
So what was that all like
Jeez,
again?
a lot of array of emotions.
Getting you all over the board, man.
So that summer, big summer for me. Went to all the elite camps. They invite the top 20 college players, or and so they come to camp. So I got invited to Mari Stoudemire's camp, who was one of my favorite players at the time. Go there, play well. So then once there, you get invited to LeBron camp, which is like the elite camp. That's when they have the top recruits there.
Yeah.
And so I went there, played really well. That's when Anthony Davis. It was hoop. It was a really good camp. And then got invited to go to the Team USA for the World College University Games.
Which you killed at.
Yeah. So you invited to that. It's like the top 12. You go to. At that time, it was China. It's like the second biggest event outside the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
It's like teams from all over the country. It's like really like a mini Olympics, which is really good. So had a really great showing. Come in on draft boards. Top 50. The CC first round.
Yep.
Already had to come off a good season. Next year was supposed to be even better. Got a good recruiting class coming in. Now it's another chance for Okay, now let's do this over again. And then 5 games to the season. We're at the Old Spice championship game versus Dayton.
God damn.
ACL, tear my ACL. I was like, damn. ESPN game, so my phone's being blown up. It's a championship game, and then it's just like I was in denial. I went down. I was like, sorry, I tried to step it up, try to walk it off. Took it one step, called the trainer, like, no. And yes, that was into that season.
What type of play was that? Was it like a fall or you land awkwardly?
Just like a plant about to go up to block a shot or do something, and I don't even think the play even counts. I still haven't watched the game.
I wouldn't watch it either.
Yeah, I don't think the play even. I think like Dre or somebody would have fouled one of the players, and he was going. And I was about to go plant just to like make a play, and then just buckled on me, and so then that was. I haven't been back to Orlando since.
No shit. I wouldn't go back either. Nah, we're going to Disney World in California. We're not going to Orlando.
So yeah, at that time it's tough because I'm gonna have this, because I thought about leaving the year before, but the lockout was gonna come. It was like this lockout season, and it's like, okay, let me just come back and have another season and go out, on better terms. And make the tournament, do all that stuff, and then 5-6 games to the season. The Thanksgiving tournaments, and that happens, and so it was a tough situation.
I mean, hindsight's always 20/20. Do you have regrets because of that? Or do you feel like everything's supposed to happen the way it's supposed to happen?
Still make sure both. Sometimes it's like, oh, damn, I should have left. I knew I should have left. And then other times, like, not as much because I came back after ACL, had a, solid season, got invited to the combine. So I still had the chances, but in the day, it was just kind of like, it definitely hurt me by having an ACL injury at the time because then it's a second knee injury, and it's just like, all the red flags and questions started coming up, and, it's like a...
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially with a non-contact type of knee injury where you're like doing something you do 1,000 times a game, like chances are not that it necessarily would have happened, but there was a chance that it could have happened. So it's better that to deal with it like that than having somebody come into your knee from the side or something. So it wasn't a fluke random play. So I guess that kind of helps deal with it a little bit too.
When you're going through, I mean, that year when you came back and you were dealing with some other just dumb stuff on top of that.
Yeah.
But it just it was kind of the perfect storm for headache for you at that time too. Were you on your knee? Was it just, what was the overwhelming thoughts in your mind? Were you just like, dude, I just want to get through this season? Were you feeling like, am I rushing back too quick? Like you said, your freshman year, where you felt like the coach wasn't doing what was best for you?
Well, you can't rush back to ACL. It was like, I knew the season was done. It was just more like the mentality trying to get back again. The mentality.
Get a red shirt for it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so, getting approved. So, I mean, just to think as a person, everything that's going on.
Yeah. But I didn't know about that until until April. So I mean, you're still going through. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna get the red shirt. I don't know if I'm gonna come back. I don't know if am I turning pro after the season. How just a lot of questions going on.
Yeah. So when you're going through all that, what was Tubby saying to you? I mean, was the U of M? Do you feel like they backed you on all that too?
Yeah, I mean, they got me. It wasn't easy in the 6th year. Even like Maturi at the time, who didn't. So the big thing was like that's the year I set out for the case in Miami.
Yeah,
and so like we had the athletic director and the whole school, like they backed it and they did all the stuff they could to give me an extra year. So they ended up supporting me, which they ended up having my back throughout the whole process.
And that case was actually supposed to be dropped, and you got played out over a freaking Facebook message.
Oh yeah.
Bro, over nothing.
Yeah, I said an ex of mine who was mad at me. I thought we were fine. Time went by, and so I sent her a "Hey, hope all is well, get well" type of message.
Yeah, nothing malicious, like super nice.
So man, cops pull up to my dorm or my apartment where I'm staying with my wife and my son. I'm just like, what's going on? It was like, did you send this message? I was like, yeah. I was like, this is a joke. And then so I guess she's still mad at me.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
And that was 10 days away from getting that case dropped.
Yeah. No, it was less. It was something around exactly. So
yeah, and that everything would have been done.
Everything would have been done. Finally, would have got that case situated. So then that brought up more stuff eventually, and then. So yeah, it was pretty embarrassing because we had a big game versus Purdue coming up. I still remember, and then I'm in the office of coach, and he's just like, he's mad. I was like, Coach, I mean, I just just was trying to be nice and try to say there's no issues. I don't have any issues with you. Hopefully that we could be friends in the future. And I guess she had different thoughts.
Coach was like 10 days. You couldn't have waited 10 days.
Nothing like a woman scoring, bro.
Yeah, so it was a big game versus Purdue, which we ended up winning. They were like top 15 at the time, big ESPN game. Blake went for like 30. I had to sit out. I had to sit out like the first 10 minutes of the game or something like that. That's what I'm doing. But
one of those suspensions.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I understand.
Oh, he had to be sitting in his office, so like,
I know.
I don't even want to do this to you.
But everybody knew it was stupid though. Like, even fans to come sign like free Trevor, and it's like, so I check in, the crowd goes crazy. It was like, which was cool, but it was like, it was embarrassing. It was like, come on. So obviously my wife's mad at me. She's like, well, why are you writing? Because she's like, it's stupid too. But I was
I'm a nice guy.
I know, I'm a nice guy. And that was the last happy holiday card I wrote. Even my mom was like, you did not get anything from me.
It's too funny. Bro, well, I mean, you came back. You had a really good year that year too. And then, like you said, ended up finishing that, going to the scouting combine, answering questions about your knees, the two injuries with that. And then, I mean, prepping for all that. Do you feel like that season you just played, you were at like 100%?
No.
What do you feel like you were playing at?
70.
70?
Because it took me a while to even get, I was playing with a brace for the first half.
Yeah.
I'm going to explain a lot of my games based on my explosion.
Yeah.
Your ACL is like that second year you get it back. And I was kind of trying to get acclimated again back into the season. And it just, once the Big Ten came around, I started feeling more comfortable. But still, like, it was more mental for me. It was just like, oh, if I do this, what can I do? And then I stopped playing on my brace because I couldn't play with it. And it's kind of like, the back of my mind is like, there's sometimes you might land a little awkward. And you're like, okay, is everything working right?
How much do you think it altered your game? Like, how much do you feel like you held yourself back? Because it is a big mental thing.
Yeah. Enough. I think there's times I let loose, but then sometimes I just didn't have the explosion that back either. So, like, you're watching AP, he comes back, he runs for like 7,000 yards. I was just like, oh, shit. So my doc, hold on, why am I not like this?
Better call Joel Boyd.
Right. And then, so it was crazy though, because when I tore my ACL, I tore mine first, then AP tore his, and then Ricky Rubio tore his like all within like a month. So it was just like, it was crazy. So, yeah.
You guys all rehabbing together?
I'm a little bit lower level than that.
Tax bracket that AP's got.
I don't know what AP did that year, but it was, so I'm, but it slowed me down a little bit, but I think I did enough to show, like, I'm still can be that player, still led the league in rebounding.
Yeah.
I was thinking second team all Big Ten still solid. It wasn't like a crazy year, but it was, it was a good enough year. Especially the team we had success that year. We were top 10 for a while.
Yeah.
We had a tough stretch in the playoffs or the conference, and made the tournament, lost to Florida to go to Sweet 16.
Yeah, man, I remember watching that. We had a group.
Yeah,
We were getting smacked, and we wanted it as bad as you wanted it.
Yeah, that was a tough Florida team. You know, Patrick Young, Scott Wilbekin. I don't remember who else. They were, they ended up going to the Final Four, I think, that year.
Patrick Young, that's the dude that looked like a defensive end.
Yeah.
I just remember the name. That dude was.
I remember he sailed me one time. I was like, wow.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah. Bigger than DJ Metcalf. Like DK, yeah.
So going from there then, prepping for that combine, give us that whole kind of deal. You know, like, what's that like answering all those questions and you know, showing, hey, no, I'm still the same dude?
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was up and down. You know, it's tiring. You know, you made with a lot of teams. I think there like 16 workouts. I did both the combines. You know, I was having good feedback. You know, but obviously, you know, the biggest thing was, you know, it was the knees, but it's like all the off the court stuff, like, you know, asking questions like, what's
it all
this?
came at the worst possible time.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay. It's just have to answer the same questions over and over again, and you know, kind of feel that as just like, all right, what's the next question? I understand. Okay, yeah, all right.
I know it's coming. It's coming out the way. Like,
Honest to God, that's why I think Royce was onto something with the mental stuff with it all, because I feel like you're at such a young age and so much is thrown at you. I don't know how people can cope with it. You know what I mean?
Toll, for sure.
For sure. And you think about the situation with that. You had 6 years of it just thrown at you.
Yeah.
So I think about that, and I think, man, I don't even know how I'd react. I know I'd be doing and for you to keep your head on straight, I'd be doing real dumb stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't see why they aren't protecting people more in that avenue in general, because it doesn't make sense not to.
Right. No, for sure.
I mean, you're putting people in situations that they're, you know, most people, 1% of the world, not even know what that's like.
Right.
Yeah, but it all comes down to just money. It's $1 billion industry, so they're going to say, well,
and they got billions, so take care of them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's to help somebody through that process. They're going to, like, the general public is going to be more so like, they're going to jump to a conclusion, and that's going to affect their ratings or whatever, which is going to affect their money. And there's like, well, we might as well just replace you with somebody else, then work with you through
it's
it.
Next man up, okay. It's the next batch of people coming up. You know, this mentality, basically. You know. So.
Yeah, and the scrutiny is just absurd, though. So going from there to then deciding the pro stuff. I mean, you were with the Lakers, you were with the Wolves. You did a lot of that.
Yeah, I did all the summer league stuff.
And I know Flip really wanted you, actually.
Yeah, Flip was, man, I love
Big,
Flip. Yeah, Flip was a big guy. He was big for me even coming back here. You know, he kind of like
R.I.P.
My mindset would have come. Yeah, no, for sure. I remember I was at the yeah. Flip was, you know, he was very supportive. You know,
yeah.
He was supporting me a lot throughout the time, and you know, very vocal about a lot of like positive stuff with me, like on social media. I mean, we had a lot of exchanges, and he was very helpful throughout the whole process. And at the time, I thought I was gonna get drafted by the Wolves.
Yeah.
I think my agent at the time kind of talked me out of like, because it would have been late second round. So it was like, you know what, keep your options open. We'll go from there. And then I just started getting offers in Europe that were kind of like guaranteed, or not. They were guaranteed like for, you know.
Yeah,
it's kind of okay. I can take this gamble, but they are just stay here and, you know, collect this money, and then, you know, because I have a family, so I can't just, you know, bounce around the G League. I can pursue.
But you want to take care of them right off the bat.
You know, I already did enough years in college, and I'm already kind of set behind, and so just
So then, talking with Flip, I mean, him being a huge supporter, did you have a good relationship with Ryan too?
No,
I mean,
not
as
it was
much?
solid enough. Like I saw him like a couple weeks ago downtown after one of their games, and like it was a relationship, but he was out, and then he was kind of like grind mode, like trying to figure out his coaching stuff. And Flip was kind of in between taking the Wolves job at the time and just being around. He was like a lot of games, and he was just more, you know, just out there a little bit more.
Okay, so then you also thought though the Lakers was a real good opportunity.
Yeah, but then I had a training camp offer from them. But I had a big contract in Europe waiting for me. So it was kind of like, it was a tough decision. But in the day, like I ended up obviously staying in Europe and signing the deal and just going from there. And that's kind of was my thing. It was like, I could pursue the NBA. I have a good chance, you know, of having good seasons in Europe, getting a lot of good feedback, play well at this, you know, summer league. But unless, you know, they're throwing one of those real contracts out there, like, you know, 75 to come to camp and this and that, like, it's fine, but...
You like, no, I need that bread. I need that bag.
Gotta go get it.
So what was it like coming out of school to find your agent? Or did your agent find you? How did that all kind of go down?
I'm on my second agent now. I've been through my 6 years. My first agent, I kind of knew him for a while.
Okay.
I think he was connected with one of what's coming as coaches I knew growing up. And, it was the big agents, Kevin Garnett's agent, Amy Miller at the time. And, he was a big player. And so we kind of built a relationship kind of early on.
Yeah.
And I felt, I was like,
you're good enough for KG, good enough for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So then when you're going overseas, I know off camera we were talking about how much of a culture shock that all was. And especially you have a family already.
Yeah.
How hard is it navigating that as a husband, or at the time you were a boyfriend, but I mean, you're now wife and your son and now your daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us a little bit about that, because again, nobody knows these things. Everybody can say, "Oh, he's doing that. That's awesome," but nobody knows what it's like. Trying to show them a new country. Nobody even speaks the language, and
yeah, I mean, it's a great experience, but yeah, it was definitely challenging at first. For me and my wife at the time, or my wife at the time. I gotta stop doing that.
You don't come home to an angry wife.
it's the same thing.
So I have no family anymore. Yeah.
Kids at the time.
Yeah, kids at the time.
Wife at the time.
Yeah, bad.
See what happens when you get on podcast? Get some lights in your face. Yeah, it was a culture shock. You go on Italy. It's Rome. Great opportunity. It was
beautiful, probably.
Yeah, beautiful place. But it was a culture shock. As coming here, not really knowing what to expect. One of my best friends, Jordan, one of my best friends, was on that team. And so he kind of talked me into
Shout out Jordan.
Shout out JT. He was on that team, and he had a good season prior to that. And he kind of filled me in, but he came late because he was dealing with the injury. So I was there.
It's hip, right?
Yeah, it's hip.
Yep.
I just remember within the first month I was around. I was like, man, I just want to do it. I was just like, you get these little angry coaches, little short people who never played, not short people who never played in their lives. And,
He's talking about me.
it was just kind of like, do I really want to do this? And you kind of it's a difference. You going from being in college, your next goal is to play in the NBA, and then you go there, and the next day, all these guys' mentality is their next contract, and they're hungry. They have families, and you can't just come in and kind of just be there. You have to
go hard. Yeah. Every day.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just it's a different thing. It goes from being a kid to being oh shit, my family's the money to put on the table is every game. That mentality. Especially in Europe, a lot of contracts are 1-year contracts, so you're always playing for that next contract. Even a guaranteed contract in Europe doesn't mean anything. You can sign a 3-year guaranteed, but you might not make it to that second year.
Yeah.
And so, but then I end up, figuring it out. And they had a lot of good vets around me to kind of point me in the right direction and end up having a really good season. We lost to Matt Jennings' team to go to finals, and really had a really good season. I think it was average a double. Average a double-double.
Oh yeah, you did.
And,
I actually, bro, we could pull up the stats. I had this all saved. Dude, yeah, you were destroying 10-6 and 10-1 and 1.5 blocks a game. I mean, you're shooting 58.9% from the field.
Yeah,
you were just destroying.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. No, I mean, so it was a good season. First year as a pro, won the top leagues. Italy top league in Europe, and then you started to get that confidence. You know what? Then start getting big offers come around.
You feel like your knees finally back?
Yeah. So that year, I was my leg explosion was back. Started feeling confident. Wasn't thinking about my knee at all. Yeah, and just had a really good. Just ended up being a really good experience for me.
And I mean, as tough as it would be, it had to be somewhat easier having your boy Jordan there with you. At least for that little bit that he was there before he had to leave again for injury. But I mean, to get acclimated into that situation, and the food's probably not that crazy out there, but it's got to be tough not knowing.
Yeah, Italy is amazing.
Yeah, but it's got to be hard not knowing where a grocery store is.
Yeah, you get lost in the translations and having to use a Google translator. But like I said, just having good players around you, other foreigners, kind of help you along the way. But it's still adjustment. You're gone for 9 months out the year. My wife too. She's gone and she's kind of on her own, raising a kid by herself without family and stuff to kind of send off to him at the time. But
You have to get heated with a lot of them Italian guys out there trying to come at your girl. They're real friendly over there.
Oh yeah, too friendly. Okay, now let's change that accent. Yeah,
Back up.
Was it a hard sell to get her to go over to Rome, or did she look at more like, oh, I've always wanted to like travel the world, like I can go over there very easily?
Yeah. I don't think she was on it really at first, but I think once she started kind of, you know what, a year,
right.
Let's give it out. A lot of her family is from Italy, like her ancestors and stuff. So I think it was kind of like part of that too. But we ended up enjoying it. It was fun. I mean, the traffic is just like getting anywhere in Rome is just like unbelievable. And like
some New York type stuff.
Down the street, it takes 45 minutes. So that was hard to adjust to, especially for her because she was driving her kid back and forth to school.
No
which
kid.
is like 5 miles. The international school like 5 miles away, but she's spending 5 hours in the day going back and forth. Just
And how old were your kids when you moved over there?
My daughter wasn't born yet. My son, he was full 5.
Oh, okay. So not quite old enough where he didn't have like a lot of attachments back home.
No, but his kid looked like he was like 8. His kid's the biggest kid you'll ever see. Bro, his son is. I remember at the games he was like 2, and he looked like he was like 5 or 6. He's like tall. But then the other funny thing that we were talking about is the accents. You said your daughter was born, and she had an Italian accent. And being around you and your wife. Where did it? I mean, did it just freak you out? Kind of like, hey, girl, no, we're from America.
Yeah, it was cute though. It's like, so she was born in Israel. We had her in Tel Aviv, or my wife had her in Tel Aviv, and so she kind of grew up in Israel.
Okay.
So then the next year, following year, we went to Italy, and it was just like for whatever reason, she just got around
Picked
the
it
kids.
up.
And she started pretending like she was Italian too. So she's walking around with this Italian accent, saying "si" and "grazie" and all this other stuff. So it was hilarious. So I was like, some of her first words were like Italian words.
And your son was speaking German and Italian.
Yeah, so my son was, because he went to Germany, the international school closed, so they had a base, and it closed right the year before we got there. And so he had to go to German school. So a lot of his classmates started speaking German, and he kind of picked up on it, and he was kind of helping us around. We go to the grocery store,
kidding.
he would tell us what, he was our translator.
No kidding.
At,
Smart little kid.
At 7 years old.
So it was real easy for him to transition to that.
When you're a kid, you could kind of pick up on things a lot quicker. So
I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
I was struggling with just the ABCs.
Did you ever have to when you're trying to yell at him, say something to you in German, you're like, no, what did you translate that? What did you just say?
Right, hold on, take that back. Nah, not too many of those things, but it was fun. It was a good experience for him, just grew up and spend half his life growing up in Europe and having all the different experiences and travel all these different places at such a young age. I think
the diversity that he's going to be exposed to is just going to help him out in the long run.
Yeah, so now he's at a public school this year. He's like, oh wow, he started to see
dumbass kid.
We regressed.
One language speaking mother.
Right.
Was he sad to come back to the States, or did he miss all his boys out there?
I think it's a mixture. I think he was excited to come back. I think there's times when we all miss being back over there. Just that experience. But I think it's been fun for him to be back with a lot of his family, some friends that he's starting to build on and kind of can have for the rest of his life in the community.
Oh yeah, for sure. Is do you think he's following in Dad's footsteps right away?
No.
Nah.
He's starting to come along though. So I never pushed basketball to him. I don't want to be those parents play now. You have to play basketball.
Yeah. So what's that like?
You're gonna be like that.
Oh yeah. It's tough. My wife's a big dancer, so my wife wants to teach. If we have boys, they're gonna be in dance. She does all that. She owns a dance studio, 900 kids, crazy into it. Mm-hmm. I never knew anything about dance till I met my wife or dated her. I never seen a dance show, nothing in my life. And I'm like, we're not going to have boys doing dance. And she's like, the hell we're not.
That was good footwork.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Are you a dancer?
Dude, I have 2 left feet. I give you a 2-step. That's it. I'll give you a little snap. That's about as crazy as I get. But so, that was crazy for me. For me, it was always football or basketball. Baseball was really big in my family.
Yeah. I want my son to get into baseball. He played baseball a couple of times. And my
serious money.
brother-in-law, he would play baseball in college. So that's saves you good on your body. Have a long career. And it's just hard getting to the big
guaranteed contracts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But so he started playing basketball. I put him at AU last year, and it was overwhelming for me too. It was You know, you have these 5th graders running NBA sets, you know, 1,
Really
3
knowing
pick
it.
and roll. I was just like, what the hell? Euro stepping in 5th grade. I was like, I don't know. And, you know, for him, like, since I was so busy, I never had a chance to, like, kind of, like, you know, teach him the game and do that until this year. And then he played on some teams this year, and I think he's starting to get the confidence. And now, you know, it was the thing, just confidence and, like, you know, and just enjoying it. And that's what I kind of just wanted to do for him.
So is it weird being? I mean, are you coaching then, or are you just helping out when you can?
On the
Or
side. No, I can't coach.
Nah.
Too stressful. No, just yeah.
And especially when you play at such a high level and you see people doing stuff where you're like, I need you guys to do this the way that it's supposed to be done. You look at it from a skewed perspective.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, just dunk the ball in 4th grade. No, just pick up the ball and just dunk it on them. You know? Oh, you can't do that? Oh, okay. No, sorry. All right.
So bringing it back to playing, some of the issues we were talking about was sometimes teams aren't even paying you on time.
Yeah.
And that's stuff that you had to deal with 2 clubs.
Yeah.
Give us some of that experience and what you had to go through with that. I mean, I know in one place you said Greece, they're known for being late.
Yeah, exactly, which is crazy. But I played in some great teams that, you know, money was early a lot of times, you know. Said it's going to come on the 1st, it'll be on the 31st. If it's a holiday, you know, something like that. But
Shout out those teams.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. There's like, you know, just some countries, you know, like even like a lot of, Greece probably is the worst, you know, their economy has been struggling a lot for the last, you know, several years. Like even their top teams who are paying big monies, you know, they're months behind on payments.
Okay.
And, you know, so I've had teams late. I've only had to sue one team, which is, you know, which I just won my case, this team in Greece. And it's frustrating, you know, just like, it's right there, and then you see them start signing new players, and it's like, you know, you have, the money's there, so and that's when FIBA, I don't think they do the best job stepping in. You know, it's like you can't owe guys from 4 years ago and still sign new guys to contracts. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but people wonder why people kill people. That's why. That's for sure why. I couldn't imagine somebody's taking $100K, $200K, whatever it is from me. But I mean,
imagine killing anybody either though.
I'm thinking of the episode of Power. I'm thinking the Clinton Portis deal where Clinton pulled up with the gun. He was ready to kill that dude. Remember that special on 30 for 30? No? Okay.
Hold on, who?
Dude.
Clinton Portis. He got robbed of all that money. He had
his chain and stuff?
No, he had like $96 million. He signed with he had from his playing days.
He did not get robbed of no $96 million.
He gave it to the people who were the financial advisors through the NFL.
Bro, he just casually had a bag of $96 million sitting in his house.
I think it might have been like $56 million. Now I'm thinking about it. 96 would have been AP.
56, okay.
But 56.
Much better. That's a pallet of money.
I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know this, but the financial planners that were appointed by the NFL who were the financial planners for Clinton Portis. He thought, well, the NFL brought these people in. They must be legit. Handing him his money. They invested it.
Yeah,
they extorted a bunch of players.
You made it sound like
he pulled up on them with a gun about to shoot him.
Right,
and then decided not to.
That's 100% different than you made it sound like somebody broke into his house.
I just shortened the story. I made it real quick to the point.
And they were like, "What is this over here? Is that $96 million in that bag?"
Damn, I wish it was the chain instead of the cash. They take the chain. Dude.
This is the part where we get off topic, but it's
Shout out Clinton Portis.
I hope he's doing well and he got his bread back. For real, that's the saddest thing ever.
No, it's a lot of those stories, you know, even KG and like AP, you know, all this.
Tim Duncan.
It does, yeah. Like, you get put in these situations and it's just like, you think you trust somebody and you walk out and, you know, you're down millions of dollars.
I can't even imagine, man. I'm too broke to ever think about losing $100, let alone millions, hundreds of thousands.
How much money is in that backpack?
It looks like about $30 million from here. I gotta pick it up and shake it to be sure.
Walk around like Floyd Mayweather. Suitcase, nothing but cash.
Crazy.
So what you thinking about the league right now, where it's at? Did you catch any of that All-Star game?
Yeah.
Do you like that setup?
I like the setup.
At first, I was hating it until I saw it, and I was like, wow, this is actually, they're playing. I like them playing.
Yeah, they sold it in the first quarter, and it was like, okay, this is back to All-Star, you know, dunk. I like they played defense for like the first minute of the game. Like, oh, this is going to be intense. And they was like, nope, we're not doing this. But no, that fourth quarter, what's the rule called? The TBT, the Elam ending?
Yeah.
That's dope. I love that concept.
That was crazy, and to see that actually all that money went to a good cause. I mean, I feel bad for what was at the East. that missed out on majority of it, right? But then,
what was it, Giannis?
yeah, because I mean they tied for the last 2 quarters, and then that fourth one kind of got all the marbles there.
Yeah.
So I mean I felt bad for him for that, but I mean that at least it gets to go to a good cause, and it's something that they're actually playing for.
Yeah. No, it was really fun to watch. The whole weekend was fun. The dunk contest.
Yeah.
AG get robbed?
Yeah, for sure. D-Wade, yeah, come on. I think if anything, I think Cole. Yes, like just giving the both. Like it was, yeah. Well, why not?
That would
Why
have been
not?
dope. Yeah, that's at least what you should have done.
I think just
Do the
because
Steve Harvey.
They haven't done that before.
Or
that's why-
Steve Harvey.
I did the wrong thing. I'm sorry. This isn't yours.
Yeah, I think because they haven't done that before, that's probably why they didn't want to.
Oh, for sure.
Cole,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
I think they just need a
contest.
different scoring system.
Well, they said they want to do the dunk off for an extra dunk at the end.
That's
That
what
was
they
the
should
reason.
do. It should just be
Yeah,
like,
why-
That was
all right,
what
we're
they were
just gonna
trying
keep
to
doing
do.
dunks until one of
They
you guys
said that one
can't
of
do
them
it.
messed up
Cool.
the scoring, and that's why it didn't go. It was supposed to be
Yeah.
just another dunk off for them to each do another dunk. And then, yeah.
Wait,
Dude,
wasn't
it was
it?
like-
Yeah, I just don't comment through everybody under the bus. But somebody messed up.
Do you remember when you have a missed dunk attempt, they would dock you for that?
Yeah.
You can't miss a dunk and
That's-
they still get a 50. Like,
But it's crazy
Right.
to think like VC was doing that when you couldn't mess up.
Right,
Like
one
he was,
take.
One take Drake. Boom.
that's why it was so exciting, though, because you didn't know what to expect. And when it happened, it's like, whoa, okay,
Yup.
now he deserves a 50. Not let us see.
Yup.
A
Oh, we get what you're
sample
trying to do.
the
See
first
your 10
time,
misses.
And then, yeah.
Right, it's like, okay, all right.
So what do you think about today's game in general though? Do you like watching these 140, 150 point games? Is it
No.
I mean,
No, I don't. I mean, no, I'm not a fan. I mean, it's been good for me because like undersized players like me, I've made money now because being like undersized centers and like just be able to switch and do all that type of stuff. But I'm not a fan. Like just watching teams go back and shoot threes,
Zero
from 1 3
defense.
to the next 3, and it's like it's sometimes it's fun to watch. Like games starting to get better. Like the more they're starting to get like the Lakers Clipper game was fun to watch.
I think playoffs will, I mean, that's the only time people really want to watch NBA ball if you
True.
really like hoops.
When it matters.
Yeah, for real. I wish it was more like the college game though. I wish you could actually touch a guy and it not be a foul. And
Yeah, and then all the extra flopping, and it's like like it's impressive when the shots are going in. Like when when James Harden
Yeah.
gets hot, he's like, damn.
But when they're not hitting, it's
Yeah,
so
just
hard
like-
to
yeah.
watch.
I can't watch the
like what was that last week when they went like 3 for 15? It was just like at what point did we like, you know what, just forget the analytics, let's just get a bucket.
Yeah. Somebody get a layup.
It's like it doesn't look good, man. It's just like it slows up. Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes it's like to me, it just bothered me. Like a couple years ago with KD and them, they were like the best 3, like KD, Steph, and Clay, best 3 shooters, teammates
ever on the team.
and they finished that season like number 9 attempts.
Yeah.
It was like how 8 teams shooting better than the best team in the league.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Deficiency. It's crazy.
And then, but I mean, overall, I mean, it's talented. More guys are more athletic and like from that aspect. But
And the hone in skill, the skill is crazier, but it makes you wonder what guys, like for me now, growing up watching 90s basketball, seeing, I guess, real defense being played, you wonder which guys could actually still play in that generation. And I mean, like a KD could, but I don't think a James Harden could. I don't think he'd survive. I mean, maybe he'd change his whole game, but I mean, if he played the way he plays now, he's getting wrecked.
Yeah, he's already changed. He's changed over the years. It's like went from like getting the buckets like now it's like all this extra like
Yeah.
But
I just want to jump in on that. It's like, as amazing as James Harden is, it's so tough to watch a Rockets game when he has the ball the entire shot clock.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like they don't have a center anymore, so it's completely small ball and it's 5 out.
Yeah.
Literally 5 out, and he's dribbling until 5 on the clock.
So there's no air in the ball.
Step back, pull up.
I like a quick pass at 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit,
He's gonna give it to you in 2 seconds, and you better be ready.
Dude, I would be so heated. Like, what you expect me to do with this ball?
I'm
now?
giving it back.
I'm gonna get right back. Step back to half court.
You got Giannis off ball, closing out. No. Take this back.
And I wanted to back up just a little bit because you talked about playing Marquette and at Minnesota as well in the tournament. Like you go from as a kid, March Madness, like Christ. When I was in high school, I used to like take off school just to sit and watch it. Like, what's that?
I still do.
Like, going in and like
that's on at work,
right? Like what was that like? A dream come true to play in the NCAA tournament?
Nah, for sure. Especially my freshman at Marquette. You know, it's a big celebration. Or like, you know, all the fans come out to watch Selection Sunday. We knew we were going to be a good seed. I think we were like 4 at that time. And, you know, just like it's involved, you know, that's what we watch, you know, Selection Sunday. So, like, being a part of that, having all the, you know, cheering with all the your teammates and the fans, and it was fun. And, you know, then we were in Pasadena or Anaheim. So, like, okay, cool. It's Milwaukee in March. We get to go to Cali for a week.
Right.
But then we played against, and then we played Stanford in the first round. So it was like, you know, at that time it's the Lopez brothers. And me, I'm just like, you know, it's like.
It's some big boys.
Yeah, it's big boys. And, you know, they're both supposed to be first round pick. Brooks supposed to be a lottery pick. And it was just all, you know, it was a fun experience. But even at Minnesota, we were, you know, watching at the barn, watching us, you know, with all the teammates and the cameras and stuff like that. It's just like, just that whole process. You know, everybody's getting the hype. You know, people are picking you to win these games. You know, everybody's, you know, you have the support, and, you know, it's just like all over it. It's fun. So it's fun to watch.
Dude, yeah, it was fun to watch you guys watch. I'm really sad because I feel like that's the first time we had some real talent in a long time. I'm sad because I feel like if you really look on paper, bro, I feel like we underachieved for what it could have been. And I don't know if that's, you know, partially the school itself or Tubby's situation. I just feel like a lot of stuff was a mess back then.
Yeah, I mean, we were changing ADs at the time, and just like I didn't think firing Tubby was the right move at that time. Like, you know, he's come off a playoff tournament berth. He's shown he's kept the in-state talent here. He just every year just something happened. Which, you know, injuries you can't predict. You know, some off court, like, you know, he did what he did every year that was here. We were ranked at some point in the season. It's just something happened, but. You know, he was old school, but, you know, everybody in the city loved him, and he was doing those things like that. The year that he got fired, we were top 5, you know, top 8, you know, big ESPN games, and like, how do you just, you know, give him one more year? I know you're a new AD, you want to bring your own person in. Yeah. And at the time, everybody's talking about Shaka Smart. Okay, Coach Smith, I love you, you know, but you get Shaka Smart, and, you know, the ADs, VCU guys are all your VCU guys, and Shaka's the next up-and-coming guy. You know, 30, he could, you know, lead your program to the next, and Shaka doesn't come. You know, you know, it's just like I don't feel like they didn't really have a plan.
I don't think so either. I think a lot of stuff, maybe it was those guys' first time experiencing or being in those situations to make decisions like that, and things just didn't go the way they wanted them to go.
Right.
But, I mean, it was way too sloppy. Yeah. You know, it wasn't calculated enough, and that's something you need to have.
And, like, I think Coach Patino's been doing a really good job, you know, for those 7 years, even at this year's team. But
been real good with who he's getting.
Yeah, he's been getting the players for sure. But, I mean, at the time, you know, obviously we didn't know anything about him. And we were like, oh.
Just knew his dad.
Rich Pitino.
Yeah.
Rich Pitino, okay.
It's missing some letters. That's the wrong guy.
But I mean, obviously he's proven that he's a great coach. But, you know, he's coming off 11 and 20. I don't know what his record at FIU was at the time. And it was like, okay.
And, you know, it'd be a completely different story if Coffey would have stayed one more year. People wouldn't even be talking about him the way they're talking about him right now.
No, for sure. I mean, that's what I say. Even this year's team, they lost games they shouldn't win. But, you know, they were talking about in the tournament for, you know, majority of the season. So. But yeah, if Amir stays, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
You have a third player who can get you a bucket, which is the issue this year with this team.
And you wonder if that would help with in-state talent too. I mean, this year is a big year. I mean, with Suggs and Dawson Garcia, who's my boy from Prior Lake. I mean, it's sad seeing him go to Marquette. You know, the stuff like that hurts the state. Unfortunately, but you got to do what's best for you.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I can't say anything because I went to Marquette too.
No, but I mean, it's that kind of deal. If you get guys to stay in state, those are big ball players.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about it. You know, like, you know, you lose Trey and those guys to Duke.
Yep.
All right, if Coach K or Coach Cal come calling, you go. I'll be mad at you as a Gopher fan for staying here. But, you know, like, you know, there's been so much talent. McKinley Wright of Colorado, you know, the guy down in Texas, and losing those guys to Colorado and like Marquette and in Wisconsin is just like. At some point, we have to be able to keep our players here and figure it out. Like, before, the excuses of facilities. Now we have some nice facilities in the Big Ten. We have the best city in the Big Ten.
Oh, for sure.
It's like you go to a lot of these, they're all college towns. You know, Purdue, West. There's nothing to do there. There's nothing to do with East. I mean, but obviously it's Michigan
Yeah.
State, but you know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, I think that almost helps those schools because it creates a better environment for when, like, if you're in Wisconsin or if you're out in, like, I went to school at North Dakota State where there's nothing to do, so everybody goes to the football games, everybody goes to basketball games. Where here in Minneapolis,
There's a lot of options.
There's music acts
yeah.
coming in, like there's professional teams, so it's like you lose that kind of college atmosphere. So it almost hurts us in a way too.
Yeah, I think part of it too is a lot of these. It's the back door. You know, we're all been used to going up to the U, watching games our whole life, so it's like kind of like a oh my god experience.
Right.
So, but now with Fleck, what he's doing, like I think that's gonna be huge for
it's
basketball
good,
too.
yeah.
Like watching some of those games, you go to as a college, high school, you will go to some of those games, you see that
Just,
environment. When football's rocking, everything else is rocking.
Yep.
So.
I hope it turns around, man.
It will. Like, but he's got talent to say. Mary State got Mary State.
he's. I'm not saying he doesn't have
talent.
talent. I'm just saying. I mean, the kid who went to Arizona, he's a good ball player. You wonder if he didn't recruit Zeke hard enough, or what happened there. Like, it's just.
See, he just got Freshman of the Year in the Pac-12 too.
He's destroying kids, and he's
Could you
another
imagine them
high
again
energy
together?
guy. Yeah. Dude, I think about stuff like that all the time, and you wonder, what the deal is. Why aren't they doing that? Or are people scared that the school is not going to back them enough? I mean, there was the issues with the football team with, Winfield. He wanted to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's one of the best players on our team that we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
And you sit there and you think about that. Is the school not helping them out a little bit more? And I know that's kind of messed up to say give student athletes more than what you're giving them. But I mean, they're not getting paid. At least you should protect your investment.
Yeah, but they're already doing that. And like when you say like the Winfield situation or like the wrestling team with their scandal,
Well,
like you can't just because they're athletes try and we're going to protect you because you guys were out here
It was like a
doing
hazing thing or something, right? Or
no, they were all selling Xanax to all the college students. And so it's like, you can't how as a university you can't be like, we know you guys were selling Xanax, but we're gonna help you sweep this under the rug because we won, and then that just
But
adds
you know what?
to the
Issue for
favoritism.
me, which I agree at. Don't. So when I say this, don't. But that's what some of the big schools are doing.
Oh no, and that's exactly what all the big schools are.
Yeah,
Like
U of M's not.
you're getting paid, you're getting all types of benefits.
Yeah, but Minnesota, I think we're a big media town, and it just everything comes out at some point.
Yeah.
Like every scandal that can happen, I feel like gets put out.
But
You go
this
to
is
some
what
other
I'm saying.
schools,
You go ahead, and I'll get to my thought.
But I just think some other schools just they do it better. Like like Michigan State, all this stuff coming out, that was 9 years ago.
It never happens while it's happening.
Player now you're telling me about something that happened in 2000. Like, come
Right,
on.
or even like when Reggie Bush got caught with all the money and stuff, it was like he was already in the league cashing checks. And they're like, you have to give your Heisman back. He's like, here you go, take it. Like,
I have another replica made. Don't worry about it. But I mean, for me, I'm not saying. I mean, you're selling drugs or whatever. Yeah, you're doing something dumb that you're gonna get in trouble for that. But I'm saying kids are going to drink. Kids, and this is another dumb thing. Like, I'm a big CBD. I believe in that. I think that that's something that should be allowed. I don't know for college, but for sure pros. I don't think that should be somebody that's limiting things. But I think getting people off like opium, drugs, and stuff like that. That's a bad move for kids. But those are things that the U of M is going to know. These kids are going to be smoking weed. These kids are going to be around alcohol. We know this. Maybe we should watch over them a little bit to keep them out of trouble.
right, and that stuff does happen. Like coaches will say hey, call me if you guys are out drinking, even if you're underage. Like, I'm gonna make sure you guys get home safe rather than having you get into trouble. Or like if you guys are gonna drink, I know you're gonna drink. Do it in your in your apartment.
Be safe.
Don't go out with a fake ID because people know you guys. And so they do things like that. And so it's when kids are extra dumb, and that's when it gets caught up.
Something how long can you sell Xanax for to the kids?
Yeah, before everybody's gonna find out.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff that, I don't know, man. But Trevor, it's been super fun having you on here. Whenever you want to come back, we want you back.
Okay.
If you ever want to talk about anything,
Now, when Jordan gets here, I'm definitely gonna be here. I gotta watch this.
we'll do a double team. You come on in here, we'll take you both at the same time, hear the stories.
Okay.
Hey,
No.
Appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, we're out.